Welcome back, everyone, to the LPL, and welcome back to our second series of the day. It's NIP versus RA. I'm Mazel. I'm joined by Lyric, and we're getting straight into game number 2. It was a shellacking for NIP, at least delivering it to RA in that game number 1. Split them atom by atom, I said, and then maybe looking to do so yet again with rookie seismic shoves. Really big in game number 1. They'll keep that strength in game 2, but let's talk a little bit how this draft went. That was a first pick rumble for Shanji here.
Yeah, and you know, everyone knows Shanji's rumble, the thing you got to watch out for. 50 games on it in his career, a 68% win rate. The guy is 34 wins, 16 losses on the pick. And you know, that kind of prompted me, especially after rookie Sasuke on Talia, to check his Talia stats as well. 60% win rate in 40 games. Like, these are two champions you don't want to face as RA.
It's literally the perfect champion for rookie as well. It facilitates, but also has those big mechanical moments that can make the difference, right? It brings me back to thinking about like his Azir from the time on I guess V5 last time around, but even back all the way to IG and even top esports at some moments.
Yep.
But I think it provides so much of that give and take that rookie has been known for.
And looking at these comps holistically, right? I think when you compare and contrast them, RA should be favored in 5v5s if they can get into the mid game on even footing. That's not to say NIP doesn't have ways they can fight, right? Especially if you can like Weaver's Wall, funnel them in, Zhuo throw an ultimate, and then like layer a huge equalizer on top of it. That's what NIP will be looking for, but it'll be a lot more conditional. But with the Weaver's Wall, they still have that disparity in terms of being able to create numbers advantage, right? So having a bit more tools, RA, I think, going to rely on more stability early on. Get down some defensive vision, make sure Assum can farm up, and then, you know, peel him with the Karma like we saw in our last series. Karma Rakan definitely can do a lot to make sure that the Zeri stay safe.
Just curious to see the kind of trades of the ADCs here and see if that actually pans out to anything. I think there were some particular moments early game that Assum had some good looks on the Jinx.
I mean, the 2v2, right? It was huge for RA in that last game. Zorah and Assum really just outperforming, but looks like NIP Spotlight might want revenge. But that wasn't it, Zhuo.
Yeah, that was not it. On the Nautilus here, a little bit of a change up from last time around. But I do want to check in on jungle pathing here because we had the opposite side starts for both these guys. A little bit of vision that was playing towards the information of
Look
Naiyou.
at the minimap. Naiyou was actually hoping to find a gank. He might still find it.
He has the angle into Shanji. Flashes are available. Wind becomes lightning. Shanji not wanting to burn the flash just yet. Under turret and gonna hit the flame spitter right back.
That is going to be pretty important with where the wave's at in terms of HP, but Aki's going to look to help him reset it.
I love this so much. Aki, he's here. He's in charge. Flame Spitter gets first blood, and now they turn right into Naiyou as Aki makes the difference.
What a tragic start for RA. What a great start for NIP, and the kill even goes on to Shanji. Again, him on the rumble. You love for him to be able to get that gold and start snowballing.
400 smackaroos as Vicla getting some smackaroos to the face there in terms of rocks.
Right. Even with
feeling a little bit of revenge.
Even with Rookie not hitting the seismic shove there, it's completely fine because you just funnel him into your queue. So even the ones that Rookie doesn't hit, he's still hitting.
He's feeling a little bit of the anger from last game. I think Vicla had his number a lot, like we were saying, you know, be able to call him anytime he wanted to on the Ahri. It sucks for you, Jamada. Anyways, but I think the interest is, can Vicla find consistency, right? And I think that's not something we saw from him when he was on FlyQuest for LCS, and that's not something we're going to talk about right now because Shanji able to turn the heads of RA after saving his flash.
Just the how calm he was. Like you say, not using that flash, knowing they could turn it around. They don't even care if Naiyou's here. Aki sees the angle to go for the counter-strike, and then Xiaoxu honestly maybe could have gotten away, because when he started to run away, Shanji turned around, then he clicked once forward and gave the opening.
I wonder, like, was that a mind game from Aki? Because Aki, like, sidestepped after he counter-strike to maybe make Xiaoxu think he wasn't going to go for it, and then he flashes anyways. I love the little mind games that can be done in these two go head-to-head, but I think Aki, even with some of those lackluster moments this split, has also had some incredible ones.
Yeah, had some good moments. We can see now in topside the boots of swiftness coming through for Shanji, going to make sure he doesnn get chained down by that Aatrox W. You can always look to escape. Or I guess
Oh my
maybe he doesn't
God.
care to escape. Maybe he's like, yo, I am just stronger than you right now. Looks for the all-in with the overheat damage coming out with the autos too.
I've been contemplating for a while, Lyric. I mean, you know, sitting here as play-by-play, thinking names. So we have Shanji, but 60% win rate on Rumble with a lot of games. That feels really good. So we got to kind of adapt his name a little bit. So I'm thinking Jumble.
No, just stop.
Does that work?
There's no way you're gonna make that work, and you're just gonna
Jumble.
You're just once again gonna make me point out that like the fact that Ender is now not casting League. You are the king of cringe in my mind, and you have stepped up.
I can't take that crown from him. I cannot. It's too lofty of a crown.
I do like Ender will always be the king of cringe, but right now, you know, not casting League of Legends. There needs to be a League of Legends.
There has to be a League of Legends.
And I'm just saying, with that name, you're kind of living up to it, and we all appreciate it as NIP Aki.
I humbly accept. The dragon is not going to be the focus right now because RH just want to take that rookie. Rookie just mind games them and flashes over the dragon pit. Now RA are sitting there with their head in their hands. What are we doing?
Rookie is what they're thinking of as a silly little guy. He just can't chase him down. It looks like they're actually going to try.
Oh my God, he's still mind gaming them. He blocked them off. Now he's looking for more. Seismic Shove is going to be coming up soon. It is a trade back. Vicla gets Aki, but it doesn't matter because RA are going to lose everything. A double kill to Photic.
Yep, so they end up trading up. Still, though, can't turn this into a Drake. It might even lead Xiaoxu to being able to get a plate top because remember, Shanji didn't take TP, did take Ignite for the all-in and strength in laning phase.
Oh, that was close.
Yep, we've seen Zhuo be close a few times.
He just hasn't taken enough licks of the lollipop yet.
Maybe what he's doing is he's missing a few, so then they'll expect him to keep missing, and then he'll get them in the end. Is unfortunate
Zorah.
timing. Unfortunate timing of the worked ground coming into play is
whoa, Photic just takes down Assum.
And wow, once again, I mean the Jinx in game one came in better in the early game. This time around, Photic as well, 3-0-0. Like, some really nice early games from NIP in this series so far. Rookie has no flash.
He can't flash over the dragon pit this time, Naiyou says. Vicla trying to get the angle. Wind becomes lightning. Rookie going down to big Vicla. And now Aki, he's might going down to flash over. The wind becomes lightning. And the mantra Q cannot connect. Aki's just hopping all over him.
Yeah, nice footwork. Dodging out on that W. Still, RA did manage to find one. Got another kill onto Vicla. So gonna potentially get, you know, and hopefully an early Malignance for him so he could really start showing up as we get a replay of what happened down in the bottom right-hand corner. But still didn't matter in the end.
I love it. The aggression being on full display here for Photic. Dragon is almost taken away by said Photic. But it will be secured by RA, so they'll be able to lock that one down at least.
And I'd really love to see NIP able to get all 3 of the next set of grubs. I mean, you now have Noon Quiver and a recurve on Photic, so he's going to be doing more in that 2v2. We already saw him stepping up. You could see what's happening topside. Setting up for the play now.
He is a very scary man on the Jax, and Xiaoxu might know that, and he's going to remember it yet again. Shanji flashing out, still surviving over the tower shot.
Yeah, going to get the reset and be able to come to lane just in time for when those grubs spawn. So we'll see what kind of path Aki takes to be able to play around this one. If they end up just giving it over, more plates going over to NIP in general with Photic picking up another one. And I mean, so it's a 2K gold lead for NIP this early.
Yeah. Aki, though, he will be in a lot of trouble here. 3 talent strike to the crescent card. Come on, Wind becomes lightning, gets the kill.
So not only takes the Gromp, even just enabling the Aatrox to push in top with the position that Naiyou and Zorah are taking, threatening the dive. Great read by Shanji to know that he can't walk forward and has to wait for reinforcements. They know they're fine to send Zhuo up to the side, but looks like they're even going to be able to deny at least 1 grub. We'll see how fast Aki makes it over here.
He's running that way as well. The back coming through from Photic. Just get back down from the spot side. The one grub comes through. Naiyou barely makes it out alive. Gets popped out as well. And those two grubs on the other end will go over. So they do deny the one, but they will still face the brunt of the mites.
Exactly. So in the end, it still works out for NIP. We can see Shanji coming back to lane with an Oblivion Orb. So going to try and prevent that sustain. It's going to be coming from the Aatrox. Looks like Naiyou was hoping for a window that he could punish this Rumble, but it's just not going to be there. But look, Kraken Slayer now finished for Photic. That is going to be massive with the lead that he started to find in the spot lane.
And it would take a little moment to talk a little bit about RA. They haven't had the best split, right? They're 4-9, opposite side scoreline of NIP. But I think there's been some things that have gone right. I think Assum has had a decent split so far. I think he's had some good moments, some not so great moments. Naiyou, even though he's not Milky Way, I think seeing some of the aggression go his way has been really nice to me, especially after spending so much time on top of esports' LDL team. It's been really cool to kind of see him come into his own in little ways.
I got, like, honestly, I'd be excited to see every RA player like still in the league, whether next split,
Absolutely.
you know, next year, whatever it is. It's just sadly that this team, right, this combination of 5 players, it just isn't working. It hasn't worked. 4-9's a respectable scoreline. Like it wasn't too bad. I think with the roster they have, it's kind of about where you'd expect them to end up, and they still have more games to play, so they still can get more wins under their belt. But yeah, I think every member on RA has shown glimpses of talent. Even people like Vicla, who I think Vicla had an incredibly bad first few weeks in the league, and really stabilized as time went on. And Xiaoxu, of course, I think everyone can agree is the crown jewel of this RA roster, even still showing some big performances, even with how bad of a split Rare has had as a whole.
I know it might be sounding a little biased, but the early parts of the split were not kind to our NA transplants of Vicla and Prince. But it's been nice to see Vicla kind of regain some of that confidence, because I did still have a lot of excitement for this guy coming over to the LPL, and I really thought he could hang with a lot of the mid laners. And I think the transition of the different pace of the background of what the LPL brings, the structure of the practice and everything like that does weigh heavily, and that works.
Honestly, I think another good example of how you never know how a player will play one split into the next is look at UCal. UCal's first split in the LPL was tragic. Again, there was especially a lot of his quirky plays, his quirky packages were just being memed.
Yeah, you're right.
Rightly so. And then not even the next split. It was later on that split where he started to bring it together. And then the following splits, it was like, hey, TT was the UCal show. UCal was botting people and taking names. And
at least
this
trying
split,
to bring wins to TT in some
exactly.
ways.
And this split hasn't been the same, but just the fact that that can happen from split to split, you never know what's going on behind the scenes. You never know adapting to new splits, to tier 1 plays. All this stuff can just change in the blink of an eye.
And you're my lovely friend, so I get to do this to you. I'm going to throw you fully under the bus. We were talking in the break about Photic being in maybe not the greatest position this split. Well, he's in a perfect position now, and I look forward to see him execute this one. He's 3-0 on the Jinx, and he already has about 1.5 items in his belt, so looking to really be the carry potential for NIP.
I think it's just tough when there's so many star-studded AD carries in the league to have to be compared to that. His hook comes out from Zhuo.
But Zhuo just ended his own life right there because of that. That's a mantra Q right to the face, and Naiyou gets the kill.
Yep, so 1 going the way of RA. This should be able to turn into another Drake for them. Even still having... Okay, only having Assum's ult left, but not a ton of ults to play with RA. Looks like Equalizer coming up now.
NIP has no idea that Zorah's coming over here. They might find the kill anyways. Zorah can't find the engage there. Oh no, now Photic, he's starting to fire away. He's about to get excited. Can he get away from Xiaoxu? A double kill has gone over to Assum, but Assum is gone. A nice flash out from Photic. He's got those mechanics. He gets out of that mantra Q as well, missing the Mega Death Rocket there. But a fight back from NIP in a very contested one at that.
And more flashes like that and more fights like that for Photic are what we need to see for NIP to really rise up as a contender. I'm sure we'll see it in the replay, but I think Assum getting a little bit too ahead of himself and really opening up for Photic to get excited. And now, good moves from RA, but we're starting to come out to more item power spikes coming through for NIP, especially that Leandri's on Shanji is really going to start causing problems.
He really is. We're going to take a look back at what started out as a Zhuo maybe misstep.
Yeah, he really didn't want to go for that. Hell, we're even still missing some important tools, right? There was no equalizer when this started off, which is one of the things that we hit on earlier. NIP really rely on to be able to fight. RA doing a great job. Naiyou starting it off to equal. Oh, well, we're going back to another fight already.
That dragon did get taken by RA. Zhuo tried to do his best Spider-Man impression, but Shanji able to get some damage back in. NIP, they take the fight now too. RA just seemed to have not been able to get their feet under themselves, and that's a snipe away kill from Photic to finish it off.
Great job running them down. I guess we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait for the replay of this, and hopefully that won't get interrupted by another fight coming through. But some of the members of RA are already looking a bit low at the start of that skirmish. But winning that not only leads NIP to getting a few more kills, we can see making their way up to Rift Herald. Even look at the minimap. It looks like minions potentially breaking down that top outer turret for NIP.
Getting close. Oh! Taking about half his health down. Rookie able to find a nice little combo there. Zhuo now just wants to go into Zorah. The Rift Herald got taken in the end by Aki. And NIP were able to play a little bluffing game in mid lane.
Still, though, I'm now waiting again to see Photic's recall and how much gold he's sitting on. We are going to get a replay of this. I'm not expecting a fight to come out, but look. So Xiaoxu already forced out, already chunked. A lot of the ults down for RA because of the last fight. And Zorah just getting separated. The rest of the members over the wall. No one from RA able to follow up and deal damage to put Vicla or Assum in a spot to get that done, and it really just enabled Photic to go wild.
Photic's having a great one now, 6-0 on the Jinx. Honestly surprised he hasn't completed a second item yet, but getting very, very close there. I think that's an important factor to think about because that just provides so much of that sustained damage for NIP's composition. We've seen what they are doing. They are literally just looking for picks with Rookie and Zhuo and following up a front-to-back fight.
I think especially considering the fact that he's making his way towards an IE. So he's really going to be dealing huge damage. We've seen this before. The Karma Poke looking like it's going to be menacing, but not really able to commit anywhere. Now, with no objectives on the board, I feel like the play for NIP should really just be breaking down this last outer turret. It is theirs anytime they want to overload the map topside, which is why they don't feel too strained to commit the resources now. But then you can really start just getting into the enemy jungle, getting some wards down. But speak of the devil, Mazel, there's that second item for Photic, the IE just bought.
It's so crazy to me, though. I mean, we're literally 18 minutes in. We've had 17 kills in this game. It's probably not stopping anytime soon. Game number 1 was like 8 minutes in before we had the first kill. So, it's a very different beast to kind of pilot this game.
Yeah, it is very different. And even the fact that it's been kept so close, with RA being able to answer back, it really makes it a different beast. Because, sure, NIP are up 3k gold, but RA do not feel down and out yet.
Oh no. Vicla gonna burn his flash there. TP coming in from NIP. They will try to reinforce this. Photic gets completely caught on his own. He's burning and he's gonna go down. Naiyou gonna join him in the death realm there as Aki getting brought low, and the bird comes through from the red buff. Now Assum is right back in a kicking position.
Once you trade Jinx for Xin Zhao, there's just no way NIP can be able to continue the fight, right? Because RA still have their consistent source of DPS pushing forward, and NIP don't have that same luxury. Would be very burst reliant, or just Rookie being able to dish out that damage. But with Xiaoxu, Zorah, Vicla, just too much to be able to get through. We're going to see here how Photic exactly gets caught out, and it's actually NIP kind of tunnel visioning on trying to catch out the Xin Zhao that leaves Photic vulnerable. So NIP really needed to be more conscious of their win conditions, and even ignoring win conditions, right? Just the fact that you have this massively strong Jinx right now.
Just playing around.
Yeah, exactly. Leaving him to his own devices. I don't know if maybe, he should have repositioned sooner if there was a call there from NIP, but it really just looks like they tunnel vision on being able to try to find a kill on that Xin Zhao.
Did get another turret completed for NIP. They took down the topside turret with a rookie. We do also have Baron coming up and a Dragon coming up 20 seconds. Would be a soul point for RA if they want to take it. Rift Herald just got popped because it was about to run out in mid lane. See if NIP wants to use that as a distraction card effects here and take this mid lane out.
They're going to go for it. All of RA is around.
Grubbies!
But now, it's all about the big dragon. RA so far having some presence in river with Zorah hovering. But I love that NIP just ult to their own devices.
Oh, they just go right onto Vicla. There's the lightning crash though, and I think RA absolutely handle this fight. 2 gone. Whoa, with the missed engage and 2 kills straight to Assum. That's onto the Baron for RA.
I did not like that dive whatsoever. Really just seemed overforced and uncalled for. And yeah, this is going to turn into a Baron for RA. NIP can't answer. And NIP's consolation prize, their first dragon of the game.
Not much of a consolation prize if you ask me. The scaling stopped for a little bit longer, but with this Baron, they are going to be able to do so much damage onto all the standing objectives of NIP. So RA, they aren't that far behind, are they? They end up taking the advantage, 1,000 gold because of this botched dive.
I don't like this at all. You're going on to the Karma. The Zeri's still alive. The equalizer placement's really awkward because RA, like the core forces of RA weren't even under the turret, right? They were funneling in from that choke point soon. So honestly, I think the decision is questionable. I think the execution, the use of the abilities, target selection was questionable.
Also, just the second time in a row, they're not playing around their win condition. Photic, they literally left him out to dry like a hanging thing of meat on a drying rack. And, you know, Naiyou will take that every single time you give it to him. So seeing NIP refocus around Photic is important.
But now it feels right. If they were just doing that before, it's like, all right, NIP are going to win this game. They have such a massive lead. But now the Zeri's in, Assum is matching. In terms of items, in terms of gold, with where Photic is at. I will say I feel like Photic should potentially hit a little bit harder right now, having that IE, but still, with the mobility that Assum has, it's going to be so hard for anyone to lock him down. Even without having the flash, having that ghost up should be more than enough.
And with this Baron buff still up for another minute and a half, RA will take another outer turret here. So they'll get 2 on the table for themselves. See if that gold lead is going to lead to anything here. They have a slight one, about 1,000 gold up over NIP, where they had been trailing for a majority of the game.
Yeah, nice by them to just stay diligent, punish the mistakes that NIP was making. We've seen early Void Staff coming out for a rookie. Going to be able to deal with the Maw that Xiaoxu has picked up quite early on. But like you said, I really feel like it's seeing NIP kind of refocus on some of the plans that they're going for and taking it more slow, because even if we ignore things of like how comp should play out or how you think setup should be in regards to this game, it's like NIP should honestly just be favored, like point blank with the season they've had compared to the season that RA have had. So the uncharacteristic mistakes have been huge in this game so far.
Yeah, they really have. And those are the kinds of things that these games mean that they matter so much, right? Like, you want to secure better seeding for NIP. Every game matters. You still have, again, this is the appetizer to a very hearty meal that you're going to have to finish off the season with in terms of the opponents that you have to take down. And RA giving them a run for their money right now. They are pushing the boundaries, and they are able to take down potentially this outer tower here, but Rookie will deny them.
Look at that little bit of damage from Vicla, dealing almost half of Rookie's HP. And now, with things like the Karma Shields, I mean, the Xinjiao ultimate into NIP's comp too, it really does just feel like we're at a point where it's going to be so hard for NIP to actually be able to teamfight.
And that leads to the strengths of RA. I think this composition as a whole, right? You had the bridge that was Vicla and Naiyou to get Assum into a powerful position. He is in that position now, and it's just about setting up around him. Xiaoxu will have some big flanks available to him, especially with some of the extended vision that we've had being played now And that's something to always keep an eye on.
Yeah, those vision plays can make a difference. We are now hitting 3 items on our AD carry, so Assum can have a little bit more survivability. I think is a good call because the real things he's contending with is like Aki jumping on backline or, you know, standing on equalizer. So having that lifeline now with the Immortal Shield Bow is going to do a lot to make sure he doesn't get caught off guard by anything cheeky like that. So our Photic, now with the rapid fire cannon, can buy more space because he has no faith that his teammates are going to be able to set him up.
It's one way to approach it in that way. I do wonder now, though, Dragon coming up, 30 seconds for that priority being gained in mid lane for NIP. Can RA stop them from doing that? Because I think priority in mid lane is super important in the way that both these teams want to fight the team fights.
Yeah, I think it's especially important because it's so hard for NIP to run into RA, like we saw with the turret dive. If RA have control of mid and have control over river, I mean, they're just going to keep getting hit by these monster Qs. Naiyou!
Naiyou just going straight on the Photic. Aki has an entrance on the side. That's Crescent Guard gone from RA. That's a powerful tool.
That is a powerful tool down for now, so that might influence this fight, but I think it is actually so crucial that they got Photic's flash. Because it means going forward, like, it's going to feel so unsafe. And you can see that the decision. They don't even want to opt into walking towards the dragon.
It will give up the 3rd dragon to RA. Mountain Dragon towards their Mountain Soul. Oh, Vicla trying to flash play on the Photic. They really just want Photic. They have tried and tried again to get this carry, and they can't.
I mean, they've done enough. Like, they've taken him out of the fight. They've taken him off the map. No flash, low on HP. He's going to have to be very careful and very conscious of plays going forward. So, yeah. I don't know if that was worth Vicla's flash to just go in and throw a monster Q, but I am a big believer in mental victory and, like, ego victory being more important than anything. So if you just set Photic behind a little bit mentally, well, then as RA, you've won in my book. You got the more important W.
I'm here for it, honestly. It's called results-based analysis, if I've ever seen it.
No, that is not results-based analysis. Like,
is it not?
Just here you go. Put yourself, you're in an ARAM. The enemy is
Close
low
your
HP,
eyes, audience.
dancing in front of your turret. You don't care about winning this ARAM. You care about these peasants disrespecting you. And that's what Photic should care about right now when Vicla just went, haha, I'm going to flash Q you, and it's going to mean nothing, but that's how little you're worth in my eyes. That's what Vicla just said to Photic, and it's going to eat away at him.
I'm sure it will. I'm sure he's just eating up about it. Baron is being eaten up by RA right now. Rookie, he has an angle. NIP, if they find it, they can put some huge hurt onto RA. RA looking for Shanji. That'll be his flash. So a lot of big flashes are gone. Naiyou signals the advance. So does Zorah. They try to get it with the quickness, but they can't pull off the engage that they wanted. Now Photic in a front to back might be in a powerful position. He's already about to get one. And boy, is Photic getting excited. Aki's going for it. 2. That's 2. That's 3. Zorah's going to make it 4. And that's RA completely off of this earth as Rookie's chasing down the final member. RA are gone. That's a clean ace. And NIP are shoving it up the gut.
And NIP, at the very least, is going to be able to get the inhibitor. We'll see how far they could go, but looks like no. Looks like they realize they shouldn't be able to just outright win the game, so Photic's already heading towards the Baron with Aki.
We'll take down the inhib turret in mid lane. Maybe not the inhib itself, but that Baron is going to do wonders for NIP, who fully take the advantage, fully take the lead, and now find themselves over 4,000 gold up.
And when both teams are in a position where I feel like they should win, obviously NIP earlier on, RA before that fight, they just keep finding ways to give it back to the other team. NIP are going to love that because they get to go in with the Baron. And let's see how this goes down. Because RA try to start off the fight. Zorah gets in with the engage, but the worked ground, scaring RA from moving forward and preventing them from getting the damage down, which buys the space they need to be able to take down Naiyou, to be able to kite this out. And it just felt like RA weren't willing to commit hard enough to be able to go in and deal damage, right? We saw their front line do it, the Zinja and Rakan going forward, but the Karma, the Zeri, the Aatrox, nowhere near.
It is unfortunate to behold for RA, but they still have some fight left. They have a minute and a half, and they have a soul point, which could turn into a soul if they position correctly. Again, the biggest difference for that, for me, was that RA were not able to fight in the front to back, and NIP was.
But it didn't even really feel like wasn't able to, right? Because RA looked for the engage. But it was really just the rookies, the rocks, the ground rocks. I don't know Talia's ability names. The ground rocks, Mazel. As that was it.
They're just onto the inhib turret and bot side now. 2 Mega Death Rocket gonna go wide. Photic screaming forward. You get a 4th item for Assum. Some guns have come online. Naiyou, he tries to go for it. He can't do it again. That's multiple times we've seen the engage go a bit wide for RA. They gotta have a one last gasp, but they want to try to survive because the Baron is up for another minute and 10 seconds for NIP. They can put some more damage into the mid lane as well if they take this inhib.
You know, this Baron is bothering RA, and Talia's Unraveled Earth was bothering me. So I did look it up, so now it won't bother me anymore. And look, NIP also are not going to bother RA. It's almost like we're spirit animals. 52 seconds on the Baron. It is going to be able to translate into a Drake, so this being much more of, obviously, a denial Drake from NIP, since it will only be their second one of the game. But if this keeps going back and forth, honestly, every Drake's just going to count anyway. Because neither team looking super decisive so far with how they're approaching closing it out. But now with 2 lanes of supers, that honestly might just be the difference maker for NIP.
I want to know what the difference maker is with you, Mr. Lyric, because what is your spirit animal?
NIP is.
Oh.
You know, because when I decided, you know, I can't even remember what I said 5 minutes ago, so never mind, NIP aren't my spirit animal.
You're doing great. You're doing great. We got a full item completion almost there for Photic on the bot side of the map as well. Those 4th items coming online there. Obviously, still waiting on that one. I guess Shanji is the one closest to a full item build there. But they just have one last lane to knock down, and they are putting all their eggs in that basket. They move everybody top.
Oh, none of that poke connecting, luckily for Aki. I think if that first Q hit from Vicla, that could have been a big chunk out from his HP bar, not having any magic resist, only armor.
You just kind of walk forward and see what happens, and sometimes everything goes rushing by you. I think Zorah was a little bit of trouble as NIP still looking on the edges of taking down this tier 2 in the top side of the map. Very quiet responses from RA so far.
I like the adjustment from NIP, though. They've realized, hey, having Aki up topside doesn't really do much. Send him mid to just pressure and, you know, escort the supers so Xiaoxu can't just clear them so freely. And this should hopefully open up for this turret to come through topside.
They do end up finally getting it, taking a little bit of time to do so. Vicla slowed down, lollipopped. He finally hit it 33 minutes in. Finally got the little lollipop, and Vicla will end up flashing away from that one. Mega Death Rocket is blocked by great teammates of RA.
So RA doing their best to hold on with the position that they're in.
And now they are on the edge. As I think, you know, maybe try to back away a little bit more so than that one, but they don't have much to back away to. As NIP's siege will conclude, they do have about a 7,000 gold lead as they walk away from it.
Just taking it slow, knowing they can't overforce, right? Because they still are into a Zerian. I mean, both Assum and Photic are incredibly close to full build. Crit Bloom now picked up by Shanji. And it's going to be interesting. NIP should still be able to maintain this pressure supers for the Baron coming up. And I'm going to assume that they're going to be able to you know, go for the turn/burn, look to bait it, see if RA comes in. If not, go for the Baron, and then hopefully look to close out from there. They still have to be very cautious with RA being on soul point.
Sorry, a little hard to hear you. But as we get into it now, the Baron is about to spawn. We have another about 2 minutes on the dragon as well. I do wonder if NIP just try to force the hand into the Baron.
I think that's the play for NIP. Like you either want to try and force something here, get them in a good position to throw out the equalizer, and then now they're having to come into you, which also should make it theoretically easier for Photic to be able to find that front to back that he wants.
They are. Okay, well, they just started up now. They're going to TP in, try to get a contest here. RA, they might be on the last gasp, but we've seen this series go back and forth, at least in this game. They get the nice little denial because Naiyou's in there by himself. Lightning crash. They have a front to back for RA. It's actually looking pretty good. Shanji, he's trying to get away. The burn isn't enough. He's going to go down to Xiaoxu. He steps up and RA hit it out of the park. It is a 1 kill and denial of Baron.
Yeah, still having to worry about supers in their base, which is why they're backing off. Aki, wow, they're trying to be so
No
sneaky,
way.
but with Zorah standing here, they can't.
They are bold, I will say. The big old wave in bot side. I love a little couple of smirks on NIP's side. They just wanted to see if they could push the metal of RA.
We'll see if RA are able to get soul off this, because Shanji comes up in 20 seconds, which is only right before Dragon will be on the map. So it should be easy for RA to start making their way there, but... Okay, so I was going to say, I'm curious if NIP will give it up. It looks like no. Good. They're going to start making their way over. Just wait for Shanji. They're going to be in river first because RA had to answer all those supers that were still in their base from right before the inhibitors respawning.
Now we get the ultimate fisticuff fight. Will NIP get their 3rd dragon of the game, or can RA finally close the book on a soul?
They do still have flash on Assum, which is a good sign. But I'm keeping my eyes on Rookie. He was the one to deny them last time around.
Pressing guard used. Xiaoxu now has an angle here, but that's a big ultimate use by Xiaoxu, and or at least by Naiyou to try to save in there, and Xiaoxu going over the wall. That means RA don't have a contest here, so they will just give this dragon up.
Trying to threaten that they could go do a Baron, but you could see Rookie and Shanji, NIP solo laners, keeping tabs on them by staying in the mid lane. Does lead to RA having vision control top side, so they can try and force them in to face check, but NIP might just ignore it. They can just walk up mid and hit an inhibitor.
Wait. This is kind of, I thought NIP might just commit. I thought they'd just go in the game.
Look, they're committing. They're committing. Look at Photic and Zhuo.
They believe in Aki. They believe in the steal. He's in there like swimwear, and he gets it.
He gets it.
They TP out, and NIP are looking to end the game. They have flexed, they have smited, and they have defeated RA.
Huge from NIP, and now Photic and Zhuo are going to be able to finish it off. Yep,
They
Xiaoxu
easily
just goes
take
down.
Xiaoxu, and a beautiful play and a beautiful commitment to Aki, realizing he was going to get the job done, committing to him and committing to a 2-0.
That was both good from NIP and a bit of a disaster. Especially, like, you know, Photic getting caught out the first time when they were trying to engage on like the top side of the fight onto the Xin, like whatever, that happens, right? You weren't necessarily keeping aware of like everything that was going on in the fight. The dive to me was the